Good morning, children. As we have studied in the previous section about the Indian economy or the different sectors of Indian economy, which are the primary, secondary and tertiary. So here today we are going to learn about the rising importance of the tertiary sector. As we studied, India is an agricultural country. Large number of production and services were taking place in the primary sector. But now gradually there is a change from primary sector to the tertiary sector. So the tertiary sector is increasing in our country. We know that when we are studying the graph of 1973-74 period, 1973-74 period from 2013-14. So as the graph is given in the textbook, 1973-74 period to 2013-14 period. What changes occurred in the Indian economy in the three sectors? So here we come to know that there is a high changes spike in the tertiary sector. Okay, there is also hike in the tertiary sector in the Indian economy. So here we know that over the 40 years, when we compare from this period over 40 years from 1973-74 period to 2013-14, while production in all three sectors have increased, the three sectors production increased, but it has increased the most in the tertiary sector. All three sectors economy or the production increased, but tertiary sector has increased in a higher level. So in the year 2013-14, the tertiary sector has emerged as the largest sector. Among all these three sectors, we can say three sectors increased the production, but tertiary sector has increased in the largest level or the highest or producing sector in India became the tertiary sector, replacing the primary sector. We know that earlier primary sector was the highest producing sector. Why the tertiary sector is becoming the important in India? We know that all over the world tertiary sector became more important. Why in India it is increasing in such a way? There are many reasons. So we will study one by one. What are the reasons? The high rate of increase in the production in the tertiary sector. At first, in any economy, so several services like the hospitals, we already studied the tertiary sector is a service sector. Tertiary sector is service sector. So here we know that all these services like the hospitals, educational institutions, post and telegraph services, these are all coming in the under the tertiary sector. Police stations, courts, village administrations, defense, transport, banks, insurance companies, etc. These all are necessary. Okay, we cannot imagine a society without all these facilities. These are required in any society, so that these all coming under the tertiary sector. So these can be considered as basic sectors. So these all facilities, banking or the post and telegraph, communication sector, etc. These are all come under basic services, and these are all tertiary sector services only. Also, so in a developing country, the government has to take a responsibility. Okay, all these facilities have to be provided by the government. Okay, and in a democracy like India, we know that all these are taken care by the government only. All these facilities are provided to the public by the government. Now these have developed so that India, this has increased and developed in our country, so that tertiary sector is increasing. Now secondly, coming the development of agriculture and industry leads to the development of services like transportation, trade, etc. Storage facilities, all these are all necessary. We know that when the in the modern world, we know agricultural products have to be transported and stored properly without damaging. Okay, so that we need storage facilities, especially cotton and chilies. We know there are storage facilities made by the government, under the control of government. Also transportation is needed from agricultural fields. These agricultural outputs have to be transported to the mills or storage facilities or to the markets. So that transportation is important. It also has developed greater the development of primary and secondary sectors, here more would be the demand for such services. We know that when primary and secondary sectors are increasing or developing, and on par with these two sectors, tertiary sector also will be developing. And in third, we can say the income levels of the people's income level also increasing. Certain sections of people, like starting, they are demanding many more services like eating out. That means restaurant and hotels are they need for eating out, or other services like tourism. People travel from place to place for visiting places, shopping, private hospitals, private schools, professional training centers, etc. These are all the need of the hour. In the modern world, we need other than the public sectors, private sector also we need these facilities, because we know that all these facilities which are provided by the government may be insufficient for the people. So all people cannot access all these facilities, so that in private sector also these services or tertiary sector services are increasing. That is one reason. So you can see this change quite sharply in cities, especially in very large cities like metropolitan cities. We can see large number of private institutions or private hospitals or private facilities are there. Now fourthly, when we are talking about over the past decades or so, certain new services are also coming up. What we have discussed here is from many centuries or many years it is existing in our country. But now in the modern world, we know that information technology and communication, these also are a vital part of our life. Now we are conducting during this COVID-19 situation, as we are staying back home, it's not possible the regular school children coming to the school and learning. So we are learning at home itself. So these are all with the help of all with the development of information technology. You are watching the videos or classes or learning through the internet facilities. These are all the new developments. So all these facilities also are necessary. These all come under the information technology and communication, also come under the tertiary sector. So that tertiary sector is fast growing in India. We know now this present condition, present situation, how much tertiary sector or information technology especially is important in our life, we can understand. That is also one reason tertiary sector is increasing. Okay. Now, however, you must remember that not all of the service sector is growing equally. Service sector in India employs many different kinds of people. There are different kinds of services in the tertiary sector. Not all these services are growing at a time or growing faster. At one end, there are a limited number of services that employ highly skilled and educated workers. We know that in the tertiary sector we need highly skilled personalities. Okay, employees are highly skilled, should be highly skilled people. So at the end of the three, we know that at the other end, we know there are very large number of workers engaged in the services, like small shopkeepers, repair person, transportation facilities which are arranged. These people do not need much skill. Okay, so the shop, a small shop or business for establishing repairing works, small repairing works, all these are not needing that much of skill. So much skilled persons are needed in the particular service sector like information technology, teaching or medical services. But in the small scale businesses, they don't need that much of skill. So that these are all not developing, all the facilities in the tertiary sector are not developing, all occupations are not developing at a time or equally. Okay, now here these people barely manage to earn a unskilled people like shopkeepers, they just need to earn their living only for their daily livelihood. They have to earn something, that much only. Okay, so their opportunities to work are available in their locality itself. But other people who are highly skilled, those who are working in the medical field or teaching field or information technology, they have to move to the large cities or metropolitan cities for employment purpose. So hence only part of this sector is growing. We cannot say all the parts of this tertiary sector is growing. Only particular field of the tertiary sector is growing. Okay, that's all for today. Tomorrow we will study why most people are employed, or where are the people employed, which regions. We know that the rural areas have less number of employment opportunities, so people are moving to the urban areas. So we will study about this tomorrow.